Hello everyone. Are you aiming for a 7 in IBDP ESS exam but not sure how to get there? You are not alone. ESS might seem straightforward, but scoring that perfect 7 needs smart strategy, not just hard work. So in this video, I am going to break down exactly what top scorers do differently, from decoding the marking scheme to writing answers examiners love. Whether you are in your first year or just weeks away from the finals, this guide will level up your ESS game. So stay with me. By the end of this video, you will know how to study, how to structure your answers, and what examiners are really looking for. So here is my tip number 1. Master the command terms. It is very important in IBDP exam that you write according to command terms. Suppose the command term is defined, then it is very important that you provide a precise meaning. Subject specific terminology is very important because that is what IB marking scheme has. If the command term is explained, then it is important that you describe the process, that how that process have happened and what are the reasons or what are the factors behind it. Here, if the question is explain the role of decomposers in an ecosystem, then you need to say how decomposers will control the nutrients recycling and how the process actually happens. What are the factors behind it? If the command term is evaluate, then you need to provide the strengths and limitations along with a final judgment. Like if the question is evaluate the strategies for reducing an urban air pollution, then you need to first highlight the strategy and then you need to write the advantages and the disadvantages of those strategies. So just write to the point, don't describe the process, and write the pros and cons with a final judgment. Here is my tip number 2. Use real world case studies. This is especially important when you are writing paper 2 essay type questions. I always encourage my students to prepare at least 4 to 5 diverse case studies, and whenever the question comes, you use that case studies to increase the quality of your response. Like if the question is about air pollution, you can talk about Delhi air pollution and how PM 2.5 levels often exceed the WHO limits by 15 to 20 times. You can also take some other examples and try to use some local examples which help you to remember. If the question is about biodiversity, you can talk about ecotourism in Costa Rica and how the national parks and biodiversity hotspot works. If the question is about energy use, you can talk about the Germany. If the question is about water pollution, then you can take any local river example. If you are in India, you can take an example of Ganga and Yamuna river. If the question is about deforestation, then you can take a standard example of Amazon rainforest. And it is very easy for you if you are taking a common examples, because you might have read this type of case study in newspapers or in some other post, right? So you can use that same examples in your responses also. Here is my tip number 3. Always use IB marking scheme. Okay, I always encourage my students to download past papers and use IB marking scheme. You try to self mark to learn how the points are awarded. Like if the question is about 3 marks, then it is important that you write at least 3 points, and just make sure that you use variety of points. Sometimes students don't write variety of points, but they just repeat one point only, right? So just write according to the marks given, and think like an examiner. See how examiners see the answers, is how they want you to write an answer, right? So you should always practice the questions with the help of marking scheme. You check the question, you open the marking scheme, and you see how how they are expecting you to write. So that's my tip number 3, that think like an examiner. Here is my tip number 4. Structure your answers, because it's very important that whatever content you already know, you structure it properly, because great answers are not just about what you say, but how you say it. You can use some kind of an acronyms, like you can use PEAL, which stands for point, example, explanation, and link. Like Suppose if we talk about the waste and urbanization, then point is like urbanization will result into an increase in solid waste. Then you provide an example that in Lagos, Nigeria, over 10,000 tons of waste are generated daily. Then you can explain that process, that how, what are the factors which results into the waste accumulation and what contributes to land and water pollution. And then you try to link those points with examples and explanation, so that will make your quality of your response good. Okay, so that will make your structure also properly. And here is my tip number 5: revise smartly, because smart beats hard. Instead of making notes and just writing the same text again and again, I always encourage my students to use mind maps and flashcards, because that makes easy to retain those information. Okay, so what you can do is after every chapter, you can create a mind map where you are trying to include so many things in that mind map, and then before exam, you can just go through that mind map. So then it would be very easy for you to recall everything. The another strategy what you can use is you can teach someone else a topic. Like you can try to teach that same topic to other person, or you can just try to teach that topic in front of mirror, and then you can check your accuracy. So that is also one of the smart way to revise. So it is said that retrieval practice is proven to improve retention better than just rereading notes. So here let's wrap up with a quick checklist. Know the command terms, what each requires. Prepare real case studies with data and location. Practice short and long answer questions using marking scheme. Use structured formats like peel for essays, and revise using active recall and spaced repetition techniques. Thanks for watching.